Gigi, what's going down under in Australia?
I've turned every human being into a kangaroo, except one.
And what'd you do with him?
We're throwing a shrimp on a Barbie.
It is a legend no one will forget. Everybody thought the Super Show was as bad as a Mario cartoon could be. And then, the sequel attacked. Deke was back! With the zaniest danger ever known, even more animation errors. With their useless Mario trivia, Delfino and Peach will watch every single episode and complete the Supershow Saga.
You could hear the train, but you couldn't hear all the noises that I was paranoid about, like my mom watching TV in the other room.
I think it's because your dB was really low, so it wasn't catching a lot of that.
And then someone called the house, and I'm like, oh, we have to stop recording. Someone's calling the house, and I don't even know if it picked up. But I was just like, what if it's someone I know?
We've always got other sounds. That's it. The only sounds you've got beating House of Mario has had is there was the Siri call yesterday. Not yesterday. Last episode. You had Siri go off.
Yeah, sometimes we've got our phone just sitting there and we say something and it thinks we say, hey Siri, and it activates it. It's like, well, I just activated my phone then, actually. But yeah.
Wrong one.
At work with one of our phones, usually it's the annoying ringing sound that we all hate. But someone changed one of the phones to have a different ringtone. So it'll just like quietly go, are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, don't worry.
And so it was like driving me crazy because like I couldn't tell like if they were like on there and someone was saying it or
someone
whatever.
knocking at the door. Hello.
Like, what? So we did change it one day to like a saxophone going bah, 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 bah.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna get annoying.
Oh man, my boss hated it so much she changed it immediately. And so now it's back to the are you there? And I'm like, can we please just change it to something else? That one drives me crazy.
Just something like hard metal rock or something like that. Just really something hard to dance to.
Truly, the problem with ringtones is anything gets annoying when you hear it and dread it so much.
It's true. We live the custom ringtone life, which is really fun because
I've recently been thinking about changing all my ringtones though, because it's like I'll hear them going off and I'll immediately feel stressed out, and it's like, oh come on.
I mean, I have mine set to certain people of custom ones, so whenever I hear the dog barks, that's mom, and I'm like, oh no, what's mom texting me? What's mom gotta say? What's it? Right now, mine for Peach is the best because it's Neko Atsume sound files, and it's the sound when you put out food and it goes boom. It's simple, direct, to the point.
Oh, I recently found someone dragged out all the voice clips from WarioWare Get It Together, so hopefully that will be my new text tones.
Hopefully.
I'll have to get them too for the podcast and put them on the soundboard.
I can't decide who I want though, because Orbeolon and Mike are my favorite, but I'm not super partial to any of their clips for a text tone. I really like Spitz's voice clips. Wow!
I feel like if I want any voice clips for a text, it'd be Wario.
Oh, Wario's are good too.
Excellent!
Wow!
Yeah, sure. That's Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Lately, as part of my wake-up exercises every morning, I play a little bit of WarioWare to get my brain moving.
Isn't that from a WarioWare Gold minigame where if you set the alarm clock, in order to turn it off, you have to clear 3 micro games?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The issue with that is you have to have your 3DS on and open the whole time in order for it to work, and it doesn't work like that.
Open, Jesus, yeah, no.
You can't. You want to close your 3DS, but it can't really make noise when it's closed because the system's off.
Well, no, the DS, like I actually, when I was a kid, I used to use that alarm all the time because I didn't have a phone or anything. So that worked closed, and it goes do 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 do, and you open it up and it shuts up. So they could have implemented something like that.
I don't remember this. Peach, is this true?
I guess so.
I don't remember.
Definitely was, because when I got my DS Lite, I still had my original DS. And for April Fools, I took some computer speakers, stuffed them into a corner of Mum and Dad's room, and plugged in the aux cable to the DS and set it off at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's a boop, 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 boop. And like, what the hell is
evil. It makes it think there's a fire alarm.
It was pretty bad, but they're like, Dad would have gotten up, oh, what the hell's that? And like, turned the light, like squinting around, looking what's going on without putting on his glasses.
It's the carbon monoxide alarm.
I've had the carbon monoxide alarm go off in my room once, and I was like, I should leave. Went outside. I was like, Dad, the carbon monoxide alarm went off. Should we be alarmed? And he goes, no, because he was busy talking to someone else. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back inside. This is weird. Okay.
So, sweetheart, carbon monoxide, I'd never heard anyone, all right? So just you just stay there and you'll be right.
I mean, we can't see it, then it's not going to hurt you.
That's right. That's right.
That's not right at all.
I think my cousin, his chimney was blocked, and like he had a pretty close encounter with getting sort of suffocated in the bedroom because of it. So,
we've never had to deal with chimney issues. Our chimney's always been sealed. Our windows have also been sealed. It sounds like a very suffocating house, but I promise you it's not.
The windows have been sealed.
Yeah, they're painted shut. It's so annoying. Huh. They're so old. Whenever I go to anywhere else and they have modern windows, modern just meaning there's a bug screen and they're slidable, I'm like, what? This is crazy. It's like when you get used to old cars and then you see there's automatic cars where the trunk will go up or the door will open and you're like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
It's the future.
You go from your old car and you get like cruise control and you just like...
It's like the cars that like you press the button and they start. I'm like, what is this futuristic thing?
Why?
You're looking for the keys. Where'd they go?
Peach is always the one to lose her keys.
That's true.
It's very true. I remember on Mario Golf Day, I was going to play, and then we had to go search for your keys.
It's kind of just part of my morning routine. I always have to allot at least 5 minutes to find my keys before work.
Or your wallet.
Or my wallet. Or my socks.
What about your phone, though?
Well, normally my phone does not leave my person.
Her phone is surgically attached to her.
At work, they have like, it's not really a competition, but we all like to flex on each other with how much our screen time is. And so my boss is like, oh man, I barely do like 1 to 2 hours a week. And I'm like, how? And then, like, of course, everybody else is like, oh, yeah, I do, like, 4 or 5 a week. And it's just like, oh, and I'm like, you don't want to know my screen time.
You're babies. Watch this.
Yeah, sometimes, like, you look at your screen times, like, you average 8 hours a day. I'm like, oh, no.
Oh,
that is bad.
Yeah, mine is 9 to 10.
Because, like, I use it for YouTube and that when I get home.
That's
so I get,
the thing.
like, yeah.
That's
it's
really
mostly YouTube.
Mine up. And also, I'll go to sleep. And the video will be like an hour long. And I'll go to sleep in the first 10 minutes. So it's just plus 50 minutes that are adding up to nothing.
That's why I don't want the YouTube app on Switch. Because like you go to like, someone comes to your profile. It's like, you've played 1,000 hours of YouTube and 50 hours of...
That's just the thing.
That's you, Peach. Let's look at your Switch profile right now.
Well, my Switch is upstairs, so that's not going to happen.
I have my Switch right next to me and I can check it. Whoop, whoop.
Oh. Yeah, that's just the thing with the YouTube app on the Switch. It just sucks up all your screen time because it's so convenient to put on a video.
Peach, you're very humble. You're at 160 hours for YouTube. 25 hours for WarioWare Get It Together.
Ooh,
50
nice.
hours for Sakuna Rice and Ruin.
Oh, that game is so good.
It's like the best Harvest Moon game, but you only have rice. Tetris 99.
It's rice and the battling system is really fun.
Luigi's Mansion 3 is at 75 hours.
Yes!
Smash Bros. Ultimate 140. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Care to wager a guess?
Oh God.
200 hours.
It's
Way
probably
more.
close to 400 now.
425. Super Kirby Clash, 100 hours.
Yeah!
Wow.
Wow.
I love that game. I'm still not at level 100 yet. I'm close. I'm in the 90s.
Wow. My most surprising number is Clubhouse Games is 85 hours because I just
You
keep
play
playing
solitaire all the time.
play Spider Solitaire so much.
I love Mastermind in that game. It's so fun.
I love all
It's
the toy
true.
games.
Although
it?
one I've been falling in love with is Monocola. I love playing Monocola.
Moncala! I showed you
Or
Moncala.
Moncala?
You're like,
Sorry.
yeah, that's how they pronounce it. I don't know, you can pronounce it both ways. Yeah, I was the one that showed you Moncala. I'm like, this is so
I've
much
always
fun.
thought it looked pretty because I love the way the seeds look.
The seeds,
The
the gems.
Oh man. If I could, I'd make like a custom Monocola board with
That
the
feels like
video
something
game
we should
themed
ask
gems.
Dad to do.
That'd be nice.
We could ask him to wood carve a board. Or do you mean you would make the stones?
I would make the stones.
I mean,
Perhaps.
the thing about Moncala is that you don't really need, it's not like cards where you need a certain way for them to go. You just need 48 things. It can be candies, they could be M&Ms, they could be rocks, they could be seeds. It's like soccer. All you need is 2 poles and a ball. For Moncala, all you need are some holes.
I could
and
use
40
my little miniature birds that I put in my Zen garden.
Do you have 48 of those miniature birds?
No, I only have 12 right now, but I could go back to the store. Could always
my
use more
gosh.
birds. The
We
Zen
always
garden
need-
will just be full of birds.
Infestation! Those
I have to clean up their droppings everywhere.
Oh no! They'll make so much noise. You might even get a goose. It'll honk. Honk.
Oh well. I suppose we should introduce ourselves.
Yes, we have no intro. This is always what happens.
Honk.
Honk. So honk honk. I am Delfino Durians. Oh, what's that?
Get that goose out of here! No, we're trying to do a podcast.
No, we got a guest in here too. Where'd this goose come from? It's because they're from Australia, and the house goose came in too.
Seems like it. How you going, guys?
Why'd you bring the goose in here, man? Bryce has already been on another episode.
Yeah, just thought I had to bring the spirit of Bryce back. The big
With
goose.
The goose. Yep. Anyways, this is the Supershow Saga featuring me, Delfino Durians.
And me, Peach Supreme. Yay!
A very special guest star today, coming straight from the House of Mario, Drew Agnew.
Hey, how you going, guys? Very excited to be on your show and talk about some funny old cartoons.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
We saved a really good episode for you.
Oh, I love this episode so
I
much.
realized as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, this is also Australia themed, but it's also just a really great episode, so oh well.
Yeah, surprisingly, I didn't write a lot of notes just because I kept watching the episode. I'm like, oh wait, I should be probably writing notes
Too
about this.
engaged.
It's like I
Yeah.
know the episode like back and forth, so it's like I just have to write like one word, and it's like, oh, I remember all the words associated with this now.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's like a few things in here when like relating to Australia where I'm like, oh no, like
Oh,
there's just
no.
so like just stereotypical, but we'll get into that.
Apologies to all the countries in the world.
Yes.
Just every continent, just like,
I feel like the
every
one that needs
stereotype.
the most apologies is South America. But
Oh,
it could
poor
also be
South
Australia.
That one hurt. Ow.
Ow.
It got a little too real in that part.
I don't even know if it was too real. It was more like, this is what they are. Yeah?
Oh.
It's I feel like maybe somebody's kids came in and they're like, we're an expert on the 7 continents of the world.
This feels like someone doing a presentation in 2nd grade or something.
Oh yeah, like in the 7 continents, these things live in here. They make this.
South America is home to the rainforest for now.
It's 100% rainforest, maybe. It's like, it's not. Jeez. Anywho.
Did we even say the name of the episode?
No, we didn't, because
Whoops.
the name of our episode today is 7 Continents for 7 Koopas. Which,
Honestly,
you know, 7 is it's one of those magical numbers that fits into a lot of things.
it's so perfect.
It's like 12, where when people say, you know, there's 12 in a lot of things, and you start looking around and you're like, wow, there are a lot of things that
A dozen
bundle in
is just a
12s
great
for
number.
my life. Yeah, 12 like things on your fingers.
I don't know. Who wrote this episode?
I'll tell you who wrote it, Peach, and we're in for a very special surprise. It was Perry Martin.
Oh, nice. I
Perry
feel like
Martin!
he was looking at the basic outline for Mario 3 and saw that there were 7 Koopa kids, and he's like, wait a minute, 7 Koopa kids? There's 7 continents, technically, in the real world.
We could
Genius.
put 1 Koopa on each continent.
Yeah!
This is perfect.
The only thing that would be more perfect is if we did something with the solar system, but that's a different grade school project.
7 planets for 7 Koopas.
Yeah, they're only kids at this stage. Just start off with a continent before moving to outer space, I think. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think King Koopa is a bit ambitious trying to rely on his children to do his dirty work.
That's
But, you know,
right. His kids that aren't even like older than 10, 12.
No.
But the
like-
youngest are like in kindergarten age, so they're like 5 or 6.
And the oldest is maybe 12.
Maybe
So,
maybe Koopas age mature faster than humans.
are you saying they're like cats or dogs?
Maybe. Although
They're probably
I
they're
also
probably
imagine that they
slower.
live longer,
Yeah,
like
'cause
turtles.
Because they're turtles.
They'll live to like 100 and something, so they're probably mature maybe half the time. So maybe they're little infants at this stage.
Well, they certainly
Maybe-
act like little infants.
Well, it's true about humans that they're more infantile in their baby states, while other animals, like in order to survive, like snakes, it's like they come out of the egg and they're ready to fight.
Oh, that sounds like kittens. Full of heeses.
He says. Well, kittens
Heeses.
have like a few weeks of
Baby.
an baby state before they're all over the place.
They enter baby state.
Kitten.
Kittens. That's it. Sheep never fight, though. They're always baby.
Well, that's
that-
because they've been domesticated by humans.
Darn.
Domesticated
sheep-
animals act more like humans.
Okay.
Sheep fight quite a bit. You know, they'll put up a fight if you.
Oh, they
you
will?
know. Yeah, they will. Especially like a ram, he'll go for you. He'll try.
Oh,
and
gosh.
buck-
That's true.
He'll go for your knees. He goes for the weak spot. He's played a bit of Legend of Zelda. He knows
He goes
what's
for
going
the
on.
vital points.
Yeah, so like goes for the
That's
eye.
why when you shear the sheep, you gotta grab their legs so they can't kick.
You hold it upside down and it goes, meh.
Well, it's mostly so they don't hurt themselves more than you, but you know.
That's also true. They're thrashing around. Yeah, sheep
some of them
shearing
can be quite
videos. I
Mm.
think, what's it? Drew, you're a sheep farmer, right?
I am, yeah.
Yes,
And
you are.
And a shearer, yeah.
Yeah. Shearing just seems so cool to me. Like the whole
Really?
idea of peeling the sheep.
Gotta peel those sheets.
Peeling. What have you been up to today, Drew? Oh, just peeling the sheeps.
I'm just
Well-
peeling some sheep.
Well, we call sheep that are like really good shearing, like, you know, comb really well, and like the wool comes off. We call them peelers. So that's
true.
That's the slang for it.
Because it just
So yeah.
It's like
Comes
when
right
you
off.
get a hard boiled egg.
Oh my goodness. It is that same happiness of instead of doing it bit by bit for the hard boiled egg, you get the whole bottom half off. You go, oh
Yeah.
yes.
You save so much time just like not picking at this egg. And it's kind of the same with a sheep. You just like you do it in 2 minutes instead of 3 minutes. You're like, awesome. You're back in the pen. You get another one out and you peel it off, and
Sheep are like
You're going for
eggs.
sheep are like eggs.
You gotta collect them and peel them. jeez.
You don't have to collect them. They're not, they don't vary that much. They're all pretty similar.
Anywho, Drew, have you ever watched any episodes of Super Mario Bros. 3 before? Or any of the Mario cartoons?
I have not watched it in years, though. The memories I've had of this show were going to the public library, and I would quite often get Pokemon, Digimon. They were the main things I was looking for on the video rack. But
I did that with Sergeant Frog.
Oh, I remember that. We rented out from the library.
Yeah, because I lived out of town, so I didn't have Ostar or cable TV or anything like that out there. So I just relied on videos and all that, especially because whenever cartoons were on TV, I was always like on the way to school because I had to get up really early to get on the school bus.
It'd be like at 7 a.m.
Yeah, something like that.
School
Because
starts at 8.
That's how we used to watch Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget. Actually, I watched that not long ago. Oh, 2 years ago. That's not long ago.
That's not long ago at all.
I love that show.
Was it the original Inspector Gadget? The movie? The Netflix one? There's so many gadgets now.
Sorry to go down this detour, but for some reason it came up on Netflix or something. I'm like, Inspector Gadget, I've not watched it since I was like 5 years old. So I went back and watched it, and then I found the old cartoon on YouTube, and I fell down the rabbit hole of Inspector Gadget. And, I couldn't get that out of my recommendations there for a little bit.
Funny. It's a good show.
Yeah,
It's great.
it was good.
It is connected to the Super Show because they're both made by Deke Entertainment.
And in the Super Show, Inspector Gadget came to visit one day.
Really? Wow.
Yes, he did.
That's
It was in the live action segment
That's awesome.
with Lou Albano and Danny Wells.
Legends.
True
Yeah, so
legends.
I haven't watched it. Yeah, haven't watched it for ages until you linked me the 7 continents for 7 Koopas. I'm like, oh well, I'll watch this, and a lot of memories sort of come back. I can't remember any specific episodes because like every VHS
They all blur together.
had like 3 episodes on it, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I think and a lot of the time it came up on DVD, like at cheap shops as well. Like if you go to like Cheapest Chips or these places, they always had the Mario DVDs, and I think I picked up a couple, but
That's how I used to watch them. I'd see the Mario DVD at the store, and I'd be like, oh, I've got to get this. It's so valuable. Of course, you realize it's not valuable at all. You can find the episodes for free everywhere else, but it feels valuable to
Nice
own
to
it
have a physical copy.
Yeah.
It's like technically I could watch all the Super Show episodes on Netflix because they're all there, but it's nice to have them all on
really
DVD.
bad rip, though. It's not
true.
even the DVD rips. It's a VHS rip.
Oh, they're on Netflix over there, are they? I don't think they
Yeah.
are in Australia. Interesting.
That's it. Your streaming services, they're not sad,
Yeah,
but I always feel bad because I
they're
go, come
pretty
on,
bad.
guys, why aren't you watching this on Hulu? And then I have to be told, we don't get Hulu, Delfino.
Yeah, we're like, what the hell is
Aw.
Hulu? I know what Hulu is, but
What's
Yeah.
a Hulu?
we get there's an Australian streaming service over here called Stan. Have you guys heard of Stan?
Stan, no. Do you
Damn.
Stan?
Yes. No, I actually don't subscribe to Stan. I think there's a
Okay.
couple of things on there. I think they got James Bond actually. I think they got the James Bond license. So if you want to watch all of them, you
Okay.
can. Yeah, just randomly. So that's a good enough reason to go there, I guess. But
They got
Good
Parks
enough
and
then.
Rec. Dang. They're probably, I don't know. The current issue with streaming right now is that there are too many hens in the pin. Is that how that saying goes? There's too many cooks in the kitchen with it. And it's gotten to the point where if you want to watch a set group of shows, you have to sign up for X amount of streaming content because they're all split apart. It's really just splitting hairs at this point. Honestly, the only really unified one, I say this as a Disney shill, is Disney Plus. Because Disney's just collecting everything.
Oh man,
so-
speaking of Disney Plus, the Muppets Haunted Mansion is out.
What?
Oh, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm so excited.
You should watch that soon.
I should. Also, the Pokemon movie just came out on Netflix, so I'll probably be
I've
watching
got-
that also soon.
I've been meaning to watch that too. I saw it pop up today. It
The
even came
Secret
out
of
in
the Jungle.
Australia. I was so surprised. Because it didn't come out for ages, a new series of Pokemon. Like I was checking it like every
Oh
week.
yeah, they were holding Journeys hostage from you.
Yeah, and it finished over in the US. I'm like, all right, can it
It
finally
was
come
kind of
here?
weird how they
And
were
it
drip
did.
feeding it for a while.
It wasn't drip
Yeah.
feed so much as it was like you'd get a large amount of water and then they'd shut the dam and be like, all
It
right,
would
now
be
wait
like
2
the
months.
Steven bomb, where it'd be like we didn't get Steven Universe for a year, and then all of a sudden there's 18 episodes.
And then they're like,
Yeah.
okay, you got to go back into hiatus sleep for 9 more months. You go, great.
I can
Yay.
confirm we do not have any form of Mario on Netflix over here, so that's a bit sad.
Dang. Although I'm not too surprised. I feel like someone
No.
just at Netflix was like, hey, I've got some leftover VHSs. You think whoever owns Mario Super Show now will mind? And they go, nah, just put it on there. You won't get
I didn't
caught.
get the right.
You won't get caught.
I wish they do that with some other ones. It'd be great to watch Donkey Kong Country.
I don't know who has the rights to that one. It
God
might
knows.
be in a more Canadian branch.
Teletoon? I don't know.
I don't know either. Teletoon's affiliated with Cartoon Network if that's the case, so we won't get it on suddenly like, here you go.
Man, that would be so funny if for like an April Fool's Day joke they just played the Donkey Kong Country cartoon all day.
On where? On Cartoon Network?
Network.
Just lock everyone to Netflix. To
It's
Donkey
like
Kong
how they did
Country.
the Room marathon, but with Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Oh, The Room. That is a beautiful movie, isn't it?
Have you seen The Room, Drew?
I have, yeah.
Oh,
was
wow.
awesome.
I
I've
have
just
not
seen
seen
the
it.
clips.
Oh,
I
you
know
haven't
all the
seen it? Yeah.
memes. I know there's a Newgrounds game based around it.
Like the year we left high school, or the year after we left high school, yeah, we were pretty much obsessed with that movie just from like the Nostalgia Critic covered it and seeing the review for that. We actually sat down and watched it. We're like, oh my God.
I can't believe.
Yeah.
It's like you're like, it can't be that bad, can it? Oh.
Yeah. Our love of the Mario show, it's a bit like The Room. It's so bad it's good. It's like the Cherry Sisters, the camp lady who sold out Carnegie Hall, where you know it's bad. If you try and take it critically, you're just gonna get angry because nothing really works out.
Yeah.
So sometimes the podcast so it's all like, Peach, why do you think this happens? And it just turns into Peach going, I don't know, it's not making sense.
She had no idea why this happened. I was looking up like stuff on this particular episode. It's like, errors in the episode. And it's like this big list.
There is no point
God.
in counting
This
the errors.
episode is
There's like 20. or
not
something.
only is it probably one of my favorite episodes, but it's also probably one of the most error-filled episodes. Simply because the episodes where they decide to include every single Koopaling always turn into a gong show.
They turn into a big mess. I think also it's fun to laugh and point, but it's not until you actually work in the field that you're like, oh, I completely understand how things have gone crazy.
It makes me think of the one episode of Hugto Precure where
which one?
It's the Precure All-Stars episode where every single cure, all 50 plus of them show up in the episode, and it's just like, I feel so bad for all the people who had to look at all those model sheets.
Cleaners,
oh my God.
Just everything.
Like, no wonder the budget like just imploded in that episode.
The budget went to everyone else's healthcare after the episode.
Oh, well, at least it's gone to a good cause.
I mean, that's true. But it's like when I was working on flip notes, I think, oh, flip notes are so easy. They're not hard at all. And suddenly when you're going frame by frame and having to color everything individually, making sure it all lines up, you're like, oh my God, this is the worst. Tedious. So I can't imagine the setting constantly changing in this episode is helping anything.
We have to deal with 7 continents and 7 Koopas.
And the Doom Ship and the Mario World and all these places. It's like, no wonder.
And the princess's skin tone.
I feel like the people who were coloring were like, wait, you're telling me this isn't the rainstorm episode? What?
She's wearing the outfit.
She's got the outfit on. She has to have a super tan. No?
Yeah, because I just assumed that, she's in a swimsuit, so she's got a bit of a tan. but eventually lost it.
That's
Like-
That's from a different episode where she was forced to go on vacation and she spent about 2-3 weeks on
In
vacation.
Hawaii, yeah.
Yeah, and she turned
And so
into
she gets a
Princess
tan.
Daisy. And so the rest of the episode, she's a tan, but in this one, it's like, well, she's wearing the outfit from Rainstorm, so she's gotta have a tan, even though it's their first day out for a swim. It's just gotta make
But
sense.
they've never
Point.
gone for a swim before?
Maybe not.
They've never decided to do that while on their morning constitutionals?
The morning constitutionals are for walking.
That's true.
They're not for swimming.
We think she'd have a little bit of a tan, at least on her arms.
Like a farmer's tan.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I'm getting a farmer's tan.
I always have a farmer's tan.
I live the farmer's tan as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty tan, but like my feet especially are just white. Just from my socks all the time. I'm not much of a thongs person in the summertime either, so it never gets a chance to even up.
Ghost feet.
Yeah.
I just makes me think of Dad. Dad is the most like, whoa,
Oh my God.
tan of all. He's got stark white chest and brown arms. Just because he's always outside. He's not even a farmer, except in the summertime where he does in fact farm in the neighbor's garden. But usually he's just out there working on the house.
He farms the
everything.
neighbour's garden. What does he do? He plows
Well,
a crop in their backyard and puts
yeah,
some sheep in the front yard.
It's like a community garden.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
My favorite part of the community garden is the compost bin, which has been so neglected now that I'm gone.
Sorry. I don't think about it all the time.
I'm always thinking about it.
Always
You're
think
all
about
about
that
that compost.
I'm all about, I want to get those worms. I could not find worms for the compost. It got taken over by other bugs that absolutely disgust other people. But at this point, I'm so used to them. I'm like, oh, whatever. It's
As
just
a kid,
some maggots.
I loved the worm
Whatever.
farms with like the glass in the
Oh,
glass
where you
tank
could see
where you
through
could see
them.
them. Yeah, that was
You
awesome.
can see the layers of composting.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Now we're just turning into Wormania.
Wormania.
We should have watched Wormania instead. Talked about worms.
Oh, we're not talking about worms. We're talking about
We're
swimsuits.
singing about worms. Okay, before we start swimming, I would like to clarify that Perry Martin, the man, the myth, the legend, he wrote a bunch of really good episodes. So for the
Mhm.
Super Show, he wrote King Mario of Cramelot, Mario of the
Great
Deep,
episode.
Mario Meets Coopzilla, The Adventures of Sherlock Mario, Koopa Claus, The Unzappables, 10 Coop Commandments, and Raiders of the Lost Mushroom, which is that legendary episode where
Indiana Jones
didn't-
doesn't have a face.
they didn't put a face on him because they forgot. Oops.
Either they
God.
forgot or they were worried about character problems.
Oh, they would
I
have to be terrified of that.
I
you'd
think they covered it with the latter, but there is a frame where he has a nose. I think they just forgot. Oops. So
How do you just forget someone's face?
listen, man, making shows is terrible. With no quality control, this just happens. And for Mario 3, he wrote what is, in our opinion, the best episode, Oh Brother.
Yes.
And he co-wrote The Ugly Mermaid.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I feel like he wrote that one to have a better script, but the plot was just weird.
so many puns in there. Because it's interesting how these are done. Because news come out a fair while ago now about like the Zelda cartoon and how a lot of them didn't know anything, or the writers didn't know anything about the actual games. So they just took
Yeah.
sort of the source material and be like, yeah, let's make a bit of a story out of this. And you can, in some episodes you can really see where they're just like, especially this one where, like what you said before, where it is like, 7 Koopa kids. What else are there 7 of? Oh, yep, 7 continents. Fantastic. Let's do it that way.
There you go. The numbers just align, and that's all we got. The real thing with Super Show and Zelda, because they were produced around the same time, was that no one had any idea what the games were. So they just kind of picked up on what was popular in the moment. We're like, let's just make a cartoon version of that.
My daughter's watching The Little Mermaid. Let's write an episode about The Little Mermaid. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that'll work. And then
The Ten Commandments is a movie that exists.
kids know what that movie is. They've got to know what that movie is. And then but then I think by Mario 3 and especially Captain N, they started sending the workers home with like
I don't think it was like workers manuals, but I think it was like copies of the game at least.
Yeah, they were like, figure this out. Do it.
And it feels like that with the show. It's because like they don't know the names of any of the Koopalings, but they know what they look like.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it especially went for Captain N, because I cannot find the source for this, but I remember reading it somewhere. It's that the character designer was sent home with a copy of Mega Man. And they're like, you need to sketch designs for all of the Mega Man enemies right now. And he's like, okay. And he went home, and his CRT TV was busted and blue. And when he played the game, all of the colors were warped, and he was like, oh, Mega Man's green. I'll just write that down in the notes. And then he turned it in, and they went, looks good. Let's get it printed. Let's go. Chop, chop.
Let's go. We got 2 hours.
We don't have any time left. We gotta print this out.
All I have is a picture of a hedgehog on a piece of paper.
It's like the Rocco's Modern Life episode with the ham. I am the best character on the show. I am better than both the salami and the Swiss cheese combined. Anywho,
I haven't watched Rocco's Mom. I haven't watched any cartoons in a long time. Apparently, I used to love all this stuff so much, but
I know. I mean, one thing is just you just age out of it, and the other thing is like you just run out of time.
Yeah,
I don't got time to watch anime.
I've watched a little bit of Rocco.
Nintendo, I guess, but that's about it.
I was all in the mood to watch Rocco, and then they took it off of VRV. It's like, what the heck? I was all ready to watch Rocco. And
that was part of the reason I wanted to get VRV. It's like, I can finally watch Rocco. I mostly just wanted to watch it because the people that worked on it eventually went on to do Phineas and Ferb, and I'm like, whoa.
Also, other people too. Steven Hillenberg worked on Rocco.
Mm-hmm.
SpongeBob Man, who you share a birthday with. I'm so jealous of that birthday sharing. Yeah. All right, but we're getting so off track because we got to go to the episode now, and we're going swimming. We're starting in frog suits again. This is how you know it's a Perry Martin episode because
we have frog suits in it.
They're all water based.
I think it's hilarious that the princess and Toad are both in their swimsuits from the rainstorm episode, but I guess Mario and Luigi don't have swimsuits, so they have to wear their frog suit.
The world wasn't ready for Mario in some boxer swim trunks.
Yeah, not
we
like
had to wait till Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
We just weren't ready.
Yeah.
So also I feel the need to clarify, Peach, that Toad's feet are purple in more than one frame. His feet are purple. I knew it.
I don't know. Maybe he's wearing socks with his sandals.
Socks with the sandals.
Toad seems like a socks and sandals guy.
Peach is wearing tennis shoes while she's swimming.
Well, it wasn't on purpose to start swimming.
She does it in Hawaii, so.
Okay. There you go. We've gotten each other. But, so Toadstool is, she's commenting to herself, this is a great day for a swim. There's not a cloud in the sky. And Luigi's like, oh, that's the darkest rain cloud I've ever seen.
Luigi's accent is so thick in the beginning of this episode. That's the darkest rain cloud I've ever seen.
He's from Pennsylvania.
And the cloud's not even dark either. That's the other thing. It's like, looks like a pretty.
When he says the darkest rain cloud, I think he means the thickest rain cloud, because usually, I say this as a budding meteorologist, the clouds with the most precipitation in them are therefore the thickest rain clouds because they've got a high concentration of water vapor.
There was a random shower when I was at McDonald's yesterday. It's like it was completely sunny, and then all of a sudden there was a downpour, and I'm like, it's still sunny. What?
That's just a sudden burst.
I just wanted to get my car wet while I was eating my hamburger.
When you come across that, are you like, wow, that's the thickest rain cloud I've ever seen? Would you say that? Or would you say would you say that's the darkest rain cloud?
Maybe it's just because it covered up the sun. I don't know.
It could be. Either way, Luigi doesn't have it together because that's no rain cloud. Great flooded basements. That's no rain cloud. It's the doom ship.
Da da da. So yeah, the doom ship is about to explode.
It's overheating like crazy. Because when you put 3 children in charge of taking care of a industrial military ship, it's probably gonna explode because they don't know what goes into it.
I'm like, what do we do? What do we do? And Koopa's like, look, just get the super slurper and just get some water and pour it on the ship. It'll be fine.
Yeah, so we're back underwater again. You just know it's a Perry Martin episode when it involves water. And also, I love how many things in this episode are accidental. It's an accidental disguise that the doom ship is exploding. They were just going off on their way. They weren't even trying to hide. And then
they just got the ship back from the repair shop, and it's more broken than ever.
Yeah,
It
I
really
like the
is
line
like
where it's like, we just got it back from the shop. It's like, oh my god.
Also, there's so
What kind of
many good
repairman do you
lines
have?
here.
They all have to do with the super slurper.
They do. Cootie Pie's like, my nerves are getting bad. You know I get space sick. So then, Jeetsy comments that we'll all be blown to Coopdom come if they don't start up the super slurper.
Coopdom come.
So
It's a long
they
way
just
away,
stick a giant hose into the coincidental lake that is underneath them, and Luigi comments that they're slurping up the swimming hole. Who calls it a swimming hole? The only time I've
There's
ever
an
heard
episode
that.
of the Mickey Mouse shorts on
I was
Disney
about to
Plus.
say the only time I've ever heard swimming hole is from Mickey Mouse when Pete steals the swimming hole.
I'll call it a swimming hole or a water hole if it was like a natural sort of lake or something where people go to swim. Like if it's a swimming pool, that's like a man-made thing. But I think like a swimming hole would be.
It's like it's not big enough to be a lake, but like it's just a little secret spot that you can go to swim.
I would just call it a pond at that point.
Like Robin when he's feeding the cats.
When I think of pond, I think of like full of lily pads and just stinking. You wouldn't want to swim in it.
Are lily pads annoying to swim in? I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
well, it's just because of all the roots underneath. Like they look cool on top, but it's like underneath, it's just a mess. Unless you're a
it's
koi.
Like mushrooms.
Still like mushrooms, yeah. Just all low tad. Just
so Pete has become a slurpee.
Oh no! We come from the slurper to the slurpee.
And all because she couldn't hang on to those water donuts. They're just so slippery.
I'll give it to Mario and Luigi that the frog suits probably have high traction on them. Like they're made of rubber. And I don't know, Toad's a mushroom, so...
Toad is small, so he doesn't have enough, like, weight balance to be thrown off.
Although, in that case, he could also easily be swept away because he doesn't weigh too much.
I don't know. Maybe it's like they can't get a hold on him just because he's so small.
I think there'll be a lot of weight in that head, actually. I reckon that'll be a pretty dense little head.
But the head is full of air.
Oh, mushroom fluff. It's like cotton candy textured. Jeez. So, you know it's a true Koopa scheme because Peach isn't even meant to be kidnapped. The only time Peach kidnaps are successful is when they're completely accidental and not on purpose whatsoever.
Yep.
It's the only time they work out.
Yeah,
so
they would have gotten away with it too if they didn't accidentally do that. If they actually repaired their ship, they just go through the portal, they block it so Mario, Luigi, and the team can't bloody go in and stop the day. Well,
they don't know that they're taking over the 7 continents.
Yeah, the real world would have been in trouble. I would have been turned into a
I don't
kangaroo.
see why the Doom ship almost exploding gave Koopa the idea to take over the 7 continents of the real world.
No, I don't
My
know.
7 children are so annoying. Hey, wait a minute. I have an idea. 7.
I remember this from Hip and Hop's geography lesson.
7.
Maybe he was doing some homeschooling and he's like, wait a minute, there's 7 continents, and how many kids do I have?
1, 2. He's gotta count them on his fingers.
And he counts Hop twice, and he's like, oh, this won't work. I got 8 kids. And they're like, no, you counted Hop twice.
What? You mean they're not triplets? They just all look so similar.
He
So
misses
Peach
one.
is hip and hop. What? He starts counting hip and hop over and over again because they keep moving around the room. And he's like, all right, that's 8, 9, 10. Baz is a good dad. He wouldn't do this. Anywho, Peach's whole body, I guess it either clogs up the system because she's sucked in through the pipes and is going, ow, oof, ah! And then the system cools things down just in time, but
it was not just in time. That rotten steam melted my mascara. I love that line. There's so many good lines in this episode. Perry Barton is just a master of wordplay.
He is. It's like it is something. It's got to do with Cootie Pie's vices, which is her beauty, and it's like a little kid throwing a tantrum over that beauty.
It reminds me of the time that we were doing a Squid Sisters cosplay, and I was doing the black eyeliner for you, and I accidentally poked you in the eye with the brush, and you started crying black tears.
Was this at like a convention or something, or?
It was half Halloween, half convention. I sewed the suits myself. They did not look great, mind you.
Hey, the wigs looked really nice.
I think the Marina wig could be better. The Callie wig, I'll stand by that one. I like the squid part, but the actual like hair color, it's just like
the hair
we
piece.
Didn't put much. The hair piece, we didn't put any effort into it. All my effort went into figuring out how to sew onesies and dresses, and then you just had like a tube dress.
I mean, that's what it is.
It is.
Hey, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. I mean, my most proud accomplishment is the tote bags. I'm showing.
Got that tote life.
Tote life. It fits a whole Plarn blanket into it.
Well, that's totes cool.
It's very cool. Very good, very nice.
Very good, very nice.
Then that.
So Koopa's like, all right, never mind you kids. Come and meet up with me. We've got something to do. And so
they're all in
Mario,
the same
Luigi,
ship. Oh, never mind.
I don't know. Mario, Luigi, and Toad are super panicked that Peach has been Coop-napped on accident. And they start running on the water. They're like, we gotta go.
Like, I could see maybe Mario and Luigi because they got the frog suits, but Toad is running on top of the water, too.
It just got that
maybe it's like with the water skaters. It's like he's so tiny that he just...
The water tension keeps him...
Let him skate across the water.
Breaking it.
That scene, I thought it was just like, oh, maybe it's just real shallow water there. I don't know.
Maybe they slurped up the swimming hole.
Maybe. That is also true. But I really appreciate Mario in this episode. He is just jumping into action. He's like, we gotta go and get her right here, right now. Let's go get out of our frog suits and let's go.
Let's get into an actually useful suit.
Because when you're outside of water, the frog suits do nothing. Let's go. So Peach crawls out of the ventilation system and is very happy because her crown is wash and wear.
Such a good joke.
I think, you know what? She gets into so much trouble that she's like, I'm not wearing any valuables on me, okay? I've just got...
Look, she knew she was going swimming, so she wore the velvet... Well, not velvet, but she wore the wash and wear crown that she could just wring out.
There you go. And also, I'm thinking, how did she crawl out of this vent? And that maybe things in the Koopa Kingdom are built like this, in case anybody gets stuck in them. There'll always be a large exit hole in case she gets stuck inside.
I mean, the main transportation system in the Mushroom Kingdom is pipes, so maybe they're just used to it.
Maybe so. So Peach decides she's also being really proactive in this episode. She's like, I'm going to go figure out what Koopa's up to. So she goes to spy in on the family meeting, and they're going to boogie and barrel into the real world with the corrupt kitties. So much stuff. So they enter the real world with relative ease. I always thought you had to wait for a pipe to show up to take you to the real world.
Well, maybe Mario and Luigi have gotten better at plotting out where all these warp pipes are.
I guess so.
Don't you feel like it's weird when even in like the Mario Bros movie, how they actually have the real world compared to the Mushroom Kingdom? It always throws me off because whenever I play Mario, I just switch my brain off and be like, yeah, I'm in the Mushroom Kingdom, I'm in a different world. But when it's like, all right, we're going to the real world, it's like, ooh, there's that real sense of weirdness that comes out of it.
Yeah, it's like you start getting into
weird to me how they call it the real world and not like the parallel world or the human world or Earth. It's just like, this is the real world. The Mushroom Kingdom is the fake world.
Yeah, is it fake? Is your home fake? Are you real? Is Mario nothing but a myth?
And I mean,
like,
one thing if it's like Mario and Luigi just called it the real world, but it's like everyone calls it that.
Yeah, it's like if there's a real human being, they just go, oh, look, there's the fake people. Oh.
So weird. They got 4 eyes. That was another episode, Mushroomers, where a couple Earthlings stumbled into the Mushroom Kingdom and everyone was treating them like aliens.
They're so ugly. Sorry,
They've
Mario.
got hair on their heads. Disgusting. Oh, sorry, Mario. So, the plan. Okay, how about you explain the plan, Peach?
All right, so the plan first, which is actually a pretty good plan, is to stop the Mario Brothers from stopping their plan by using the Koopa Clogger.
The Koopa Clogger. And Bully really wanted to activate the Koopa Clogger too, but no, it was left to Kooky.
No. They're like, Kooky, activate the Koopa Clogger. And Bully's like, but Pop, I want to activate the Koopa Clogger.
I want to do it too. So, I'm thinking this might be what stops you from going down the pipes in game. Like, because
it's the return of the invisible drain clogs.
Yeah, the bubble.
The show really loves the invisible drain clogs because it's a pain to actually draw drain clogs, you know?
You're just pressing down on the D-pad.
Get a bubble.
Just pressing down on the D-pad. And it's like, damn that Koopa Clogger!
The pipe rejected you!
Something's wrong with this pipe. I think it rejected me.
Just real sense of shame.
Jeez.
I already go through enough with the princess.
So here's my question. This is of course applying too much logic to the Mario show. Could we not just drill a hole into the side of the pipe and then go around the clog?
It's a big clog.
Yeah,
but it's like a bubble at the start. See, just drill a hole.
It's against the plumber's code.
You can't violate the pipes.
The sanctity of the pipe.
Okay.
I would imagine that like the bubble would feel like the whole pipe. So even if you drill halfway, that field is still like right there. I don't know.
Okay. Maybe the bubble just takes up how much of the bubble is like physically outside. Then you go, okay, this is too much thought. So
it's more thought than the writers put in.
I know. Also, I'm wondering, would drilling a hole into the side mess with the teleportation magic?
Perhaps.
Because it might be like you have to enter through the front. You can't enter through the sides, or else you go somewhere weird.
The pipe, the connection is ruined.
It is.
Rock up somewhere else. Yeah.
I think that was that one of the last episodes of the Super Show, or am I thinking of Super Koopa, where they break the pipe?
I don't remember.
I might be getting ahead of myself.
I think it's in Super Koopa, because the last episodes of the Super Show were Robo Koopa, Star Koopa.
Right, okay, never mind. I'm getting ahead of
Other
myself.
movie Koopas.
We'll speak of this then.
Yeah, so we are A-okay on being evil today. Coop, hooray! Coop,
hooray!
Truly.
I love how they've already put all the Koopalings into parachutes. It's adorable.
Yeah, listen, they're ready to be deployed. So
they act very fast.
Plan is that they're going to send each of the children to take over an entire continent, which
continent.
For simple continents, this makes sense. But then other ones like Asia are so vast that
it's like it would probably take all 7 Koopalings just to take over part of China.
Not part of China. You could even do one per country, but then it's like there's so many countries in said
and we don't
area.
have 50 Koopalings for 50 states, so we had to go with the continents.
Imagine if we got that episode. What would we get for each of the states?
Oh my god.
What are we doing in North Dakota? We're mocking everybody in South Dakota. What are you doing in South Dakota?
We're slacking graffiti all over Mount Rushmore, King Dad.
That's Montana.
He'll just sound like a Goomba down or something. He'll just walk around, just like not doing much because he'll run out of kids, he'll run out of enemies, so he'll just have to use all his minions.
You.
Here, go.
Koopa, you go.
Send the losers to New Jersey. It's already messed up there.
That's pretty easy. We'll win that place.
Should we send one to DC? Nah. Send a Kamek. Kamek, you go take care of DC.
Okay. Great.
So Koopa's master plan is that each of the kids will be sent to the continent.
I've written down which Koopaling goes to which continent because this is important. Because the show doesn't remember this either.
I too wrote this down. So Bully will be the beast of the East.
Are we talking Asia or Philadelphia? I love that joke.
If you guys live on the East Coast or anywhere near it, please take this title. Be Beast of the East. That is
You can be the Beast of the East.
That's really the best.
McElroy here. Embrace your inner monster. So also Koopa either flies around the globe at an astronomical rate, or he's just letting everybody off in the same place, and they're all finding their way to the.
They just went really high up, so they just had to parachute for a long time. Long time.
Well, if you ran out of air, even at that point, you don't get a full scope of the Earth. It's only slightly curved when it looks like that. Anywho,
I don't know.
I think the writers for this show, it was a fair while ago. It was in the early 90s, so maybe they're going by the flat Earth theory. That they could just, just like
maybe they parked on top of the Bermuda Triangle and they're all warping everywhere.
Yeah, they're getting teleported. Maybe so.
But they do have a globe up in the ship that it is a globe. So I guess that.
I don't think they believe. Also, flat Earth's only gained popularity in more recent times. A couple people kept the lights on, but it's more of a modern skeptic theory to have a flat Earth.
All right, so Larry's going down under.
In Australia, and instead he's getting really high because when he jumps off
he's
just like, yep, jumping off.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to
all right, Jane high.
I was looking forward to see how they handled Australia, being from Australia, being the only continent that's also its own country.
Yeah.
I'm like, so when they said, show how low you can go down under, I'm like, oh, here we go.
How low can we go?
How low can we go? I think also the context that the show takes place in is important because this was very early 90s to very late 80s. So whatever pop culture things were going on that America knew about Australia were prevailing, like as our brain space.
Wendy's been sent to Europe.
Yeah, she's going to Diva Central. And I also really like how her running noise, it sounds different than the others because she's wearing heels, so her running noise is more high-pitched. She goes...
It just makes me think of Ace Attorney, how they've got different text speech patterns for
boys to girls.
Boys to girls, and then other people have unique text speaks. Text speak.
We're the worst.
I think Ludwig's going to Africa.
Kookie's gonna go wild in Africa.
They couldn't think of a good joke, so he just leaves.
It's really the best spot for Kookie.
Look, they had to send them all somewhere, okay?
And Big Mouth, we hate you. You need to go alone in Africa. In
Antarctica.
Into Antarctica. We hate
the loser continent.
Blow his hot air all over Antarctica. What King
no one's going to the North Pole.
Nah, it's not
fine.
Really a continent. The Arctic region.
Just leave Santa alone for now.
It counts as North America, I think. The Arctic region. The Antarctic region is its own area. So Hip and Hop are perfect to split the Americas pie. But my question is, who's going into Central America? We've got North and South, but who's going to Central?
Yeah, this is before we were more politically correct about these things.
Wahaha. I mean, I guess if you're thinking continent-wise, then Central America is It's
I mean,
half split
technically-
between North and South.
Because North America encompasses Canada, America, and Mexico.
Mexico. And a few
And a few islands.
islands, yeah. And in South America would be the other half of Central America, a few more islands, Easter Island, and
Brazil.
South America. Brazil. The biggest island, Brazil. So, so they are all
That's
sent
it.
away, and that's it. And you know what? Toadstool's going to take matters into her own hands. She's
Well, unfortunately
decided.
for Toadstool, though, Koopa has installed an anti-goody-goody alarm.
Just touching the
Goody
lever
alarm.
sounds this giant alarm. She's like, ah! Also, I love when she's sneaking over. Her sneakers are really squeaky because they're all waterlogged. It's like, dang, this is
Sneakers
actually
really
good
aren't very
attention to
sneaky.
detail. Well, they're not sneaky, and also they've got water in them, so they're just extra squeaky. So the anti-goody-goody alarm has stopped. It has stopped her.
It's summoned like 3 Paragoopas.
I could not notice anything because I was too busy looking at this painting on the wall. I put it in the channel description for us to see.
The good old
What
baby
is
painting.
this painting?
Maybe it's from that one episode where they're all turned into babies.
I want it memorialized.
I love how Koopa will occasionally switch up the paintings that are in the Doom ship. He gets tired of one, and it's like, oh, I found this weird
I'm done
painting
with
of
the
me
light
as a
bulb,
child.
Koopa. Let's put up this baby picture.
Is that the man? Look, is that meant to be his crown on top, or was that spikes on his head?
Maybe.
I thought it was like a baby bonnet.
I thought it was spikes on his head, but it could also be a crown. And he's got a weird corsage. Good scarf. It's just so weird. Like, I am
Very
not paying
trendy.
attention to anything.
Really
Koopa's
needs to
saying.
hire a new interior designer.
Listen, they're all Goombas. We've seen his photo squad.
It's
and
hard
just-
to paint with no arms.
They've got no arms. They have to tape the utensils to their head and paint with their head.
Paint with their feet. They're just kind of stomping it out.
Speaking of no arms, just like the bob-omb here with arms, I'm like, it looks really weird. It's got little shoes on.
He's a little trooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bomb. I'm good at
Bob,
blue.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob. So Koopa sends in the cavalry to stop Toadstool, which is 2 Paragoombas, a bomb,
And a change
and
up.
a very small chain chomp, because this was the point where the show thought,
Yeah.
chain chomps are small. They're not big. They're like half Mario's
Yeah,
height.
I really think it was Mario 64. That was the first one that's like, no, chain chomps are big.
They're scary and massive. So Peach is captured. So Peach has been
So
captured.
we do a slight cut to the Mario
back to
world.
Mario and Co.
And the giant plunger.
Where did this giant plunger come from? They
And that-
say
how-
that
Sorry, it's just how are they holding it so steady as well? It's like,
yeah, they're holding it by the end. It's like when I'm picking up things by the end, it's so shaky, but they have a tight grip. Maybe this giant plunger is for toilet clogs in Giant Land.
must be.
It reminds me of that one Super Diaper Baby comic where they're like, we need a giant roll of toilet paper, and so they go to the toilet paper emporium and steal the giant toilet paper roll from the top.
The decorative toilet paper roll.
And it works!
Yeah, it works. So
Unfortunately, the giant plunger is no match for the invisible
and also,
clog.
we just keep losing our raccoon powers. Every time they crash onto the ground, they lose their powers. It's like, we're just wasting resources, Mario. Come on.
Yeah, and like normally in Mario 3, if you fall from a large height, you won't lose your power up. You won't get hurt from that. So what are they getting hurt from? They're not landing on a spike or anything like that?
The plunger landed on
They
them.
added some fall damage.
Yeah.
This is Bubsy. So they're thinking, oh man, Peach might be in trouble, but Toad lets them know that Toadstool is just gonna beat up Koopa, and there's a whiplash sound effect when he says this. It's like, what is this? What, Toad? Where are we going? Where'd you come from? Where are we going?
Anyway, it's time for the most glorious thing in this episode, which is this map.
Hold on. Before we get to the map, Koopa lets Toadstool says, "You're never gonna get away with this." And Koopa says, "I already am getting away with this, little Miss Princess." How much good rhyming. Nice. So yes, he opens the projector that changes between every frame. This thing is never consistent. Ever.
God, this map. It's so beautifully incorrect all the time.
Yes. So we check in on all the Koopa kids in order. So the first one we go to see is Bully. So what's Bully up to, Peach?
I'm painting graffiti all over this wall, Green Daddy.
Lousy lizard. That's any kid could do that.
Any stupid airhead can slap graffiti on a wall. But this ain't any wall, Pop. It's the Great Wall of China.
Slaps are so dumb.
I love Bully's voice so much. I also love the graffiti that he's written on this wall.
Oh, you caught it.
I wrote down some of the highlights where he's covered it in like those little Jesus fish and little stick men. He's written E equals MC squared. Hi,
he's
Mom.
Blasting everyone with
Bully was here.
Hi, Mom.
Just the word blah.
Blah.
It's got like a heart with an arrow through it. A really goofy picture of Koopa's face. It's beautiful.
Off with the scribbles. And you know what this show's doing? It's predicting Mario Sunshine. We're painting graffiti all over them walls.
Poor Great Wall of China. Because when I was like, all right, so where's this going to go? What are they actually going to do when they get down to these continents? And it was funny because I'm just looking at it going, oh, that's just doing graffiti and, you know, doing childish things. But when it's like, oh, the Great Wall of China, now that's an act.
It's pretty impressive. Imagine all the chlorofluorocarbons that's causing.
Oh gosh, this is increasing pollution damage. No!
Surely Bully has done the worst thing.
He's thinking in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
How to ruin the whole...
I think like Mario later on, sorry if this is like skipping ahead, but when Mario and the team come down later to try and, you know, correct the damage that's done by the Koopalings, it's like he just changes the Great Wall of China into a dragon and it flies off. I feel like that's a lot worse. They just lost the Great Wall of China.
Apparently that's based on an old Chinese proverb.
What?
Yeah, it's like the creation of the Great Wall of China has something to do with like a sleeping dragon in the earth. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think that's what it's based on.
You need to read up on your manhwas, Peach.
I'm sorry. There's just so many manhwas, and I just want to read The Duchess all the time.
You just want to read the Korean one, The Duchess. It's a whole market for Chinese manhwas.
I think it is bad, though, so it's like, oh, well, we lost it. We lost our most prized.
We lost our wonder of the world.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I mean, I see it has its benefits, too, because it also plays into Chinese mysticism about...
I'm sure he fixed it later.
It was just a temporary scare tactic. Anywho, Bully is done, so we're gonna go check into what Cookie is doing. And he's turning all of the wild animals into stuffed animals!
Unfortunately, they just did the wrong frame.
Oops. Also, I'm wondering... It's probably, when he means stuffed, does he mean stuffed animals like cute, or does he mean like stuffing them for display
like
for
taxidermy?
A museum? Yeah, taxidermy.
Because like when we see them in this frame, they look like taxidermy, but later on when we go back to Africa, they're actually cute, plushy stuffed animals. So it just makes me think that they got the wrong frame.
Oopsie. Which one was wrong, the former or the latter?
Or he taxidermied them, and then Koopa's like, you know, Cookie, that's a little too harsh. Maybe we could do like stuffed animals. He's like, okay, Dad.
Very appealing.
I'll fix it.
You gotta take aesthetics into things.
Yeah, halfway through the animation, they're just like, you know what, we got to change it, but we're not reanimating that scene. We're not doing it.
We are not going back.
We'll
do you know how hard splicing film reels is? We are not going back.
Have the budget for that?
I don't know. It's weird. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but like turning
Mm.
all of the dangerous animals, it's half preserving biodiversity because things won't kill each other off, but then also you're taking away all the life from the area by just making it for display, never moving. This is the whole ethics on taxidermy. It's like, what purpose are you taxidermying for? Anywho.
Aesthetics.
I don't know. And also, it's like we got some animals that are extinct taxidermied, like the Tasmanian tiger. There's no more of those in the world.
Man, I should have
Yeah.
made breakfast.
Are you hungry?
Growling. Just a bit. I'm thinking about that shrimp on the Barbie.
Oh no.
Okay, so it's time to go to Australia. What's Cheatsy up to? Drew, do you want to say?
Yeah, so they've turned all the humans into kangaroos. I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah.
Except one.
Except one, which is based
One
off
person.
which is based off a Crocodile Dundee from the
Yep.
iconic movies. And they turned him into a shrimp to chuck on the Barbie. I'm like, oh, here we go. Because, shrimp on the Barbie, no one here in Australia calls them shrimps. No one chucks them on a Barbie. It's just pretty much an American sort of tourism
Honestly, he
ad.
turns them into the weirdest looking shrimp I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it's really weird looking. Looks like something from Splatoon.
He looked like a lobster to me.
It looks
Not
like
even
a
a shrimp.
Skorupi from
A
Pokemon.
Skorupi? Oh, what Pokemon is
The
that?
little scorpion thing.
Scorpy?
It's the little purple guy.
Oh, Scorpy evolves
Is
into
that from Gen 6?
You're talking about the Gen
Is it
4
the
one?
one that...
It's Gen
Is it-
4. It turns
Gen
into
4, yeah.
Drapion.
Oh, yeah, the one with the... Okay. I don't know Pokemon, man. I've officially
I've
tuned
been
out of
catching
learning
so many in
Pokemon.
Pokemon Go because I've been trying to do the Team Rocket quest and I keep getting Shadow Skorupis. I love them because their eyes turn red and they look so angry.
Yeah, they're a great looking
Full of
shadow Pokemon.
uses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I caught a
So-
Shadow Wobbuffet. Oh, it was so funny.
I was not paying attention to how weird this shrimp looked. I was paying more attention
I thought
to
it was a lobster.
bootleg Crocodile Dundee's weird top. It's like...
Yeah, just like showing his abs, being a big bushman
It's
out
got
here in
it
Australia.
wants to show his abs, but it's got a little line of cloth at the top to keep it together.
My favorite bit about this scene is that Larry kind of sets up Koopa for a joke. He's like, I turned everyone into a kangaroo except for one person. And then he's like, please ask me about the one person. Please, just ask me about the one person.
Him? And he's like,
You know where I thought this was going? I thought it was going to be like, I've turned everyone into a kangaroo except one person. Then I saw Crocodile Dundee. I'm like, oh my God. They're going to get Crocodile Dundee to go around and just kill all the kangaroos. I was like, oh my God, that's dark. But no, they just changed him into a shrimp because...
Nah, they wanted to
torture
the
him.
irony and have Dundee be chased by crocodiles.
The hunter has turned into the hunted.
The Slurpee.
Yep.
So we're done with GT.
So we
go back to...
So I love Bully's scene, but I think Cootie Pie's scene gives him a run for his money.
Wait, we have Big Mouth first.
Oh, Big Mouth first. I don't know. They're all out of order.
Yeah, Big Mouth is so very lonely on Antarctica. He has to terrorize penguins for entertainment.
He has to build his own friend.
He doesn't even have any humans to like terrorize. Just
the only
3
humans
penguins.
that'd be in Antarctica would be like researchers. He can't get into the research. He tried knocking on the doors. Let me in. I've got some brilliant.
At least they just
discuss
went with
you.
the penguins and they didn't put in a polar bear or something.
That is the thing. I'll give props to the show for remembering that penguins live in the South Pole and that polar bears live in the North Pole. Good job, show.
Give you one bonus point.
You get +1.
It's a gold
Mine is
star.
20.
Oh, I
for
also
everything
forgot
else.
that Koopa enjoys Larry's shrimp on the Barbie idea so much that he does a little hop.
he's jumping with joy.
He's just so happy about it.
So we check. Okay, so now it's time for Cootie Pie.
Oh,
What is Cootie Pie up to, Pete?
So she has taken over the Louvre, and so she's turned out these stupid, ugly paintings into something really beautiful. Pictures of me. So we've got the Mona Cootie, the birth of Cootie, and Cootie descending a staircase.
I love the line reads.
Oh
You
my
know what?
god.
I like how Cootie
beautiful.
she goes with traditional art, iconic art, and then contemporary, more abstract art with Cootie descending the staircase.
So the whole idea of this, like, this is her being a plague in Europe. Do you reckon, like, the people of Europe across, like, the whole continent are going to be that worried about those 3 paintings? Obviously, it's a you know,
I feel like those are
historic
just
and
her
cultural
favorite
thing.
ones in the Louvre.
She was just showing her favorites. She's transformed all of them into
All of the art in all of Europe
Yeah.
is now pictures of
the
Cootie.
the Cootie de Milo.
It's like instead of that sad clown painting that's in everyone's house, it's a picture of Cootie.
I reckon the saddest one would just be like a little girl who's just like drawing at kindergarten. It just changes into a picture of her, and they start crying, and all the parents have to get out of work, and society just crumbles because of all the daycare workers having to take their kids home. Yeah.
Jeez, but I just so much fun. It also makes me think of Luigi's Mansion 3 when you go see Helena Gravely's her weird paintings.
She's got all these weird paintings of her and King Boo, and of course it's got the King Boo descending a staircase.
The jokes write themselves.
I have so many comic ideas that I'm just never gonna get around to.
Yeah.
But I have this clip with Helen Gravely talking about her pictures of King Boo. And then I also have one of the bit from Game Grumps where she's writing a fanboy letter to King Boo.
Dear King Boo, dear Helena, stop calling
me.
I really liked your letter.
I framed it on my wall.
Stupid. Anywho,
all right, so we're running out of time, so we gotta stick the other two.
Running out of time.
We gotta stick the other 2 Koopalings together. They're basically the same Koopaling.
Hip and Hop are just like they gotta go. So Hip is exploiting corporate greed in North America to make
He's
all
holding
the
a Koopathon.
He's not gonna let anyone watch anything else until he gets all the money.
And to his credit, they immediately start throwing money at him. Like, get off the screen. We gotta watch our sports.
They throw so much money at him that it's falling out of his little screen. It's pouring out of the frame.
So how do you guys feel about your homeland being sort of described in this way? Just it's about greed, corporate.
It's true.
It's one of those sad truths of like money does indeed make the world go round. But I think it's funny that
during the 90s, telethons were more of a big thing.
Okay, because the train. The train is here.
Toot,
toot toot.
How close is the train track to your place? Where you are?
Right out the window.
It's pretty darn close. Yeah.
We kind of have a train around here. You could sometimes hear it at night.
It's pretty darn distant, though. It's about as much as you hear the steamboats.
There's one right next to my work, so I can hear that.
Okay. Yeah,
I say in our house, it's more the planes going overhead that you can hear. Because we're pretty close to the airport.
We don't hear airplanes too much down on my college campus, which is weird. I'm so used to hearing airplanes and police sirens and just other urban noises.
I wouldn't be used to it. I'm used to nice and just peace and quiet.
You're used to the peace and quiet.
I've got a paddock behind our backyard, so there's not too much.
People driving down the alleyway with their headphones blaring in the middle of the night.
Motorcycles. That's honestly the most annoying one is people on their motorbikes driving around. It's like, all right, we get it. You're cool.
All right, so last Koopaling. We've run out of ideas. We're just going to turn the Amazon rainforest into a parking lot.
A suitable metaphor for deforestation. And there's only 2 people living in South America. Just 2 of them. And they should be looking sad, but they have big old grins on their face. It's like, oh my god.
Oh Lord.
This just feels bad, man. True feels bad, man. So Koopa is jumping with joy over all of his plans, but Toadstool is trying to come up with a plan to get out. And she uses a lesson that we've learned in Origami King, which is that bob-ombs have very disposable lives. They are built to die. It's so sad.
So sad. And it's not like we can pretend like they aren't sentient because this one's talking and has a personality.
He's got a heart. He's got a soul.
So she's like, if I aggravate this bomb, maybe he'll explode and kill us instantly.
Man, I'll get a bomb going. So she's like, I bet you're just a dud. He goes, oh yeah, watch. And
I'm gonna explode right now.
He lights himself on fire, and
everyone panics.
We're like,
nope, I'm not dying today.
Bugger this.
Oh, is it in the chat room? No. So Toadstool she's super quick on her feet, and she immediately.
I love how we run past the map real quick, and it's just completely incorrect. No one's in the right spot. Hip is in Antarctica. Some people don't even have backgrounds. It's just whatever.
We're running out of time. So Toadstool's just super quick on her feet, and she knows to throw the bomb right at the Koopa clogger. If this was me, I would miss the shot, and then it'd be like, oh, are they going to give me another bomb to do this, or am I?
It's all that golf practice. She has good aim.
Good
birdie.
Aim and good timing.
Nice birdie.
Yeah. So with the
eagle.
So Toadstool says, with the Koopa clogger kaput, Mario and Luigi, because we don't care about Toad anymore, are going to be able to
What's
enter.
Toad gonna do? He never does anything.
He didn't do nothing.
He just shows up in Africa later and takes all the credit.
Yeah. So we go back to Mario and Luigi and Toad looking at the pipe, and there's just a bunch of parabuzzies flying around.
They're just kind of circling around it like flies, like we.
Oh, I was thinking more like vultures.
Maybe with the giant clog, it's starting to smell.
It attracts
just a build up.
Ah, gross.
Ew.
Anyway, we get probably one of the best songs in the show.
This is my favorite song because it's music time. All these old.
It's so good.
It's really fun. I'm getting into it. I'm like, lightning strikes twice. Yeah. I don't know. When you hear so many bad songs in all these video game shows, because if there's one thing all video game shows have in common, it's that they all have songs in them that have nothing to do with the games. It's just like,
we need a song for this episode. Let's just have the Koopalings sing.
I'm looking up here too. Apparently the song was featured in another episode as well.
Totally Magical Adventure, but only for 30 seconds.
It's a lot better in this episode.
We get the full lyrics. Yeah! So we each get one by one the whole crew taking down the Koopalings. So the first one to go down is
so Mario goes to Asia to take down Bully.
Yeah. And we
talked about it a bit earlier.
That they know exactly where everybody is. Maybe Toadstool told them, but the globe feels so small with how fast.
Maybe they looked at that terrible map and they got the idea of it.
Probably, but they get around the globe so fast.
I know.
It feels so small.
We don't have 7 Mario Bros, so we gotta multitask.
It's true. So
Luigi goes to Africa, and so we have actual stuffed animals this time.
Yeah, maybe they transformed over time.
He's doing little tricks with them. It's cute.
He's living his child's life. So then Luigi is quite happy. He turns the animals back to their old selves, is quite happy when they start chasing Kooky around, ready to murder him.
They're very angry.
They're so mad. They had their rights taken over. They're ready to get back to it.
So Cheaty goes to Australia. Or wait.
Yes.
Toadstool goes to Australia. Sorry. Cheaty was already in Australia.
Yeah, and he's having fun. And also, crocodiles are now running around with hats. And...
Well, that happened already. They were chasing the shrimp.
Okay. But
we're gonna make them lose all their teeth because we don't like
so
crocodiles.
Brutal.
So
Yeah.
They're
harsh.
punished and their teeth are removed. And also we turn all the humans back into turn all the kangaroos
Normal
back into humans.
businessmen
These people are so
and
weird.
tourists.
Who are these people?
The
Yeah.
two people that populate Australia, businessmen and tourists.
That's all it's here.
I put a picture in the,
And Crocodile
in the
Dundee.
chat. Drew, have you seen? Is this what the people of Australia look like?
Oh, it's what 3 of them might look like
Yeah.
out there.
The one in the
Gosh.
middle it's a bit like you. The hair is a bit like yours.
Ouch.
Yeah, well, I was still 4 years off being born when this episode came out, so unless
It
they
couldn't have been
predicted,
modeled after
Anyway, it's
you.
time to barbecue some Koopa.
Okay, this is really funny. It's that Dundee's returned back to normal, and Cheesy starts running away, and then Dundee grabs him by the tail, and he
I
looks
thought he
behind
grabbed
him
him
to
by
see
the
where
hair
he's
like a
going.
turnip.
Oh, right, he did.
Yeah.
And he's being dragged away, and Cheesy looks back to see where he's going, and now he's about to be grilled on the
I
fire.
thought someone was barbecuing.
you're gonna check on the Barbie there, man. You're gonna
And
throw out well,
Monarch's like,
buddy.
You tried to cook me? No, now I'm good.
He's just like, oh my god!
And Dundee lets him go. He lets him run away. It's like, oh, it's somewhat kind of him, but he's the only one to really fight back besides the Mario Bros against the Koopalings terrorizing them.
So
Proactive.
Luigi has now gone from Africa to Antarctica. And so we melt
wow.
Frosty the Snowman and destroy all the
Yeah,
children's dreams.
He's a good figure skater now. He swings in, he grabs the wand, and he destroys the evil Frosty. And then Big Mouth's like,
The
oh,
penguins
that's
get their
weird.
revenge.
The giant penguins. They're not just regular penguins.
I like how the
Did
one has a
Luigi make
tie.
them big, or
I think he
No.
did.
were they big before?
I feel like they were smaller, and now
Maybe
they're
they made-
giant
I'm pretty sure they
Maybe
were.
they made Morton small.
That's
Taste of
weird.
his own medicine.
That's sad. So I think next is Cootie Pie.
Yeah,
This is where we
Mario
start,
goes
like, fast
the
forwarding.
Louvre.
We're like, we're running out of time. We're running out of time.
Mario,
So
just
goes
flood the
to
Louvre. It'll fix everything. I promise.
Destroy all of the old art.
Destroy all the
Everyone will be
art.
happy. Swamp them out. It's fine. And then we're just super like, okay, we have no time. We have no time. Hip and Hop are just
Luigi, you get the crane. Get Hip off TV.
So Hip is on TV bouncing on a ball, and he has one of those old-timey get him off the stage canes, and he yoinks Hip away.
There's enough stage
And
time,
then-
kid. It's
it's a
time to
crook.
go.
It's called a crook.
And then we go back to Mario with Hop.
I just
in
love how
South
like
Australia.
Mario's just like wrestling with Hop, and you can hear him scream a bit with the music. He goes like,
Yeah, we can hear Hop.
"Ah!" Like Mario's just like strangling the kid. He's like, "Give me the wand!"
Just fighting. So then Mario does his magic, and all of the trees grow back once more. And the two natives are like, "Yay, we're gonna leave.
cool,
Goodbye."
man. They go away.
That's great."
So
And
then
also, I
we cut
realized
back
here,
to the map one last time.
Toad didn't do anything. He didn't go to a single continent to go help people.
But according to the map, he went to Africa.
And also, Peach went to Antarctica. And
Mario's the only one that's correct because I think Luigi goes to Europe, and it's just like, what? And the animals went to Australia because there's now a lion in Australia.
Could be at a zoo.
also the background for one of the they're all in the wrong place, and then they move again in the next frame, and one of the backgrounds bleeds over into the other one. I think Australia's background is actually Asia's background, just bled over. It's like, wow. We could not
They
get
did their
anything.
best.
Doing their best. They didn't. They did their best is not good enough. So I love here how all of the kids run back home at once, and they're like,
Koopa pile up, Dad!
and they take down the projector while running into their dad's arms for help.
Aw.
Oh! And he's like, "Oh my, this is too much. We gotta go." So as Koopa's flying away, Luigi tries to squeeze in a line, but everything else is so loud it's hard to hear Luigi talk. He's like, you gotta do this. But it's hard to see him. So, you know what? Mario is right. Toadstool was the MVP.
Yes. Mario declares that Toadstool is the MVP of this episode.
And she's like, nah, you guys helped me out so much, so...
Except for you, Toad. You were useless.
She takes that compliment with humble pie. She's like, you two helped me so much. I want to help your place, too. It's the least I could do. There we go. The episode is over. Hurrah, hooroo.
I feel like we've all decided that Toadstool is the most valuable paisano, but who do you think
Is
Drew?
the most valuable paisano?
Most viable.
Do you need a refresher on what being the most valuable paisano is?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we give the most valuable paisano to those who are either like the most proactive in the episode,
Or just
gave
who
us
we
the most
enjoyed
laughs.
the most in the episode.
Who
Although, to be
gave us
fair,
laughs
the
in the
Koopalings
episode?
gave Toadstool a run for their money because they were so great in this episode.
They were.
I mean, it's sort of cheating a bit, I guess, because we just talked about it. But just like when the episode starts and Princess Toadstool gets kidnapped, sort of thinking like, you know, is it going to be just like another episode or another thing where, you know, got to go and save the princess and they do it? But no, like, you know, if it wasn't for her, Bowser, well, not Bowser, King Koopa would have taken over the like the real world. Yeah, all the continents and that, and
we'd have no money.
We'd have no ozone.
Right.
No ozone.
My parents would have been a kangaroo, so it would have been very
That's
bad
true.
situation without Princess Toadstool. But yeah, I enjoy Toad as well. I think Toad's just always funny. just being there.
Toad
I
really
love
didn't
Toad
do
and
much.
his uselessness. That's just really how Toad is. He's funny and cute, and he doesn't do anything. And we love him all the same.
appeal.
I don't have to do anything. The princess will take care of it.
He's like Koolaloon. All Koolaloon needs to do is be there and look cute, and we love her all the same.
Yeah,
Good,
man,
yeah.
he's probably thinking to himself, "Oh, you know, I'm going to be in my own game in about 25 years' time. It's going to be great." Just waiting for that opportunity to get his
some
own
treasure.
shine. Yeah.
Collect the stuff.
So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cheating. I think it's pretty obvious one in this episode with Princess Toadstool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah,
What about you guys?
Toadstool.
Yeah, Toadstool.
We have an ongoing list saying who our favorites are. I've been leaning more towards Mario lately.
I feel like
But
I
Peach
lean
is
towards
leaning-
Luigi.
Yeah, usually when we have to
I love
split,
Luigi.
Luigi's just great. They're all great. I think
this
it's one
shows-
thing I've learned.
Odd fascination with his posterior region.
So many butt jokes.
And
He'll
so many
rip his
butt jokes with
pants.
Luigi.
Yeah, just
He'll
the
rip
writers
his
just fascinated
pants.
with Luigi's bum.
That is the other question I wonder is the show fascinated with Luigi's bum, or are we fascinated with Luigi's bum?
That's the real question.
Mm.
What's Luigi's bum
Suspicious.
situation? I haven't been paying attention to Luigi's bum in any of the scenes. To be honest.
So it's that he'll get it stuck places. When an enemy goes to attack him, they'll go straight for the rear. When he falls somewhere, he'll lay straight on his butt. What else? There's just random scenes.
There was the one trap where they propelled Luigi. They like grabbed him by the
They
his
grabbed him by
overalls,
the butt.
and they lowered him.
And then his pants ripped and we got to see his bare butt cheek.
Because he doesn't wear undies under there.
And then there's
Big
just the
Smash
random
Brothers too.
scenes where everyone's standing backwards and for some reason they've just drawn his butt super detailed.
It's just his butt cheeks are too. They're so fat.
He's too dummy thick.
He's too.
It's like an episode of SpongeBob or something where it's just like, you know, just like the animation, but then it goes to this super detailed shot, just like Luigi's butt. You can see, like,
Just makes me think of the Guts Man.
yeah, the Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob.
Guts Man! I recognized you by your butt. So much butt action.
All right, we've come to the butt of this episode.
Yep, we've come to the end
Nice
of
segue.
this episode. Drew, tell us about the House of Mario.
The House of Mario is a Nintendo podcast doing my mate Bryce DeWitt, where we talk about the latest and greatest of Nintendo and just share our love and passion of all the games that come to Nintendo Switch and all the retro systems as well. Have a great time in the Discord community with Delfino. Always enjoy popping in there.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing you adding some goose emojis, which are very fun.
Okay, I don't know why I'm coughing now. Grape Aid did not go down, but I don't know how I became a moderator. I was like, just make me a temporary moderator. It won't be permanent. Just let me add this one thing in. And suddenly it turned into like, oh, I'll do this. Oh, I'll do this. Oh, wait.
It's the thing with responsibility, when you accept it, you're done for.
I'm doomed. But no, we've been adding more emojis into the server. I'm like, I need more emoji ideas, but all these emoji ideas are just what I want. I'm like, let's add this spooky chibi robo face. I'll put it in the chat. I think I still have it hanging around.
Yeah, well, at this time, we're coming up to Halloween, so it's pretty fitting. We'll need a spooky one, yeah.
You need a spooky emoji. Spooky Robo.
Oh, I love him. Spooky Robo.
It's his little tongue. I mean, the one that I'll never live down for all time is Yoshi.
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 Yeah, just Yoshi.
I even made it a red Yoshi just for you.
I love red Yoshi. I love red Yoshi.
Red Yoshi's your favorite.
Yoshi.
The goose. Do I still have that goose emote hanging around? Oh, I think I already used it. Yeah, I spent it earlier. Yeah, I did. The little goose. Anyways, I find the community to be really great. And also, more people need to sign up for those ping rolls for when you want to play certain games.
Don't look at me like that. I'm busy.
A lot of people are on the Mario Kart ping roll and the Smash Brothers one. It's like, oh, those are the two games we don't have. Oops.
Yeah, no, Mario Kart or Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Although at this rate, Mario Kart 64 might as well take the gameplay play stuff because we could get that one. I don't know. I'm just weirdly obstinate. It's like, I'm never getting 8 Deluxe because I already got it on the Wii U. I'm never getting it ever. Everybody I know.
Sometimes I think about double dipping. I think that a lot with Breath of the Wild.
It's
like
true.
I played Breath of the Wild 3 times on the Wii U, but I'm like, well, maybe I could do a 4th playthrough on the Switch.
I honestly think you could. I think you could do it.
Maybe if I found it on sale.
I always double dip for
$5 off. That's
you
as
don't
much
get
as go down.
Sold.
Woo! Yeah, I've double dipped for Tokyo Mario Sessions the moment it was announced. I was like, mine. And then Pikmin 3, I was like, mine. I need to phone this game right now.
We didn't buy Pikmin 3 on the Wii U.
That's true. I had to borrow it from Noodles.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Noodles, I might not have shared the video with the House of Mario, but my friend Noodles wagered a bet, and he's like, if Sora gets announced for Smash, I'm gonna do an interpretive dance to Simple and Clean. And I've never heard the song before, and I don't know what it is. And so,
oh my goodness.
And so guess what? He played himself, and he uploaded a video of himself doing an interpretive dance to Simple and Clean. That'll be in the description.
Everything you wanted it to be.
It sounded like a different version. Did they remix it for Smash?
There's a couple different versions of it. The only remix they have in Smash is the swing version of Dearly Beloved, which is the pause screen menu, which honestly would be hilarious to Smash 2 because it's like the roost theme from Animal Crossing. It's like, why are we beating each other up to this calm music?
Yeah. As my one complaint about the Smash DLC Pack 2 is that the music choices have not been 100%. I am super sad
the Minecraft music.
Out of all the Tekken music, we did not get Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
But we got the yodeling song.
We did get the yodeling song. That's pretty good. But I mean, the Sephiroth, the Final Fantasy music was well needed.
I mean, the real crazy one was getting Megalovania with the Sans costume.
Sans Undertale.
I bought that costume just to have it. Actually, I bought the costume twice because the game somehow forgot that I'd bought the costume in the first place.
It thought that you bought it on my account, and then we
I
split.
don't know.
So, I don't know. You need to get the Cuphead one too. I love that Floral Fury.
I don't know. I've been listening to Burning Town, and I'm like, maybe I should get the Shantae costume.
Just buy them all. Buy. More.
No, I already have so many games I haven't played.
Your backlog is ever growing.
Oh, and I'm supposed to be working on Inktober, but I've been so bad.
We're so bad about that.
I know, the theme for this year's Inktober is it'll get done when it gets done.
And you don't throw a fit. You get when you get it, you don't throw a fit.
I keep drawing sketches, and then like I go to actually draw the piece, and I'm like, how about I just do something completely different?
Although, Drew, you're living it pretty high up because the OLED just came out, and you got one already.
I did get one.
I see it over there. I see right there. Yeah.
I've actually last night I unboxed like my OLED and my Pokemon cards. I got like a fair bit of stuff from EB Games, so I'm just like, you can see some in the shot. So I just got like all the wrapping and boxes still here. You can see the Switch box. Audio listeners, but you can just see it's discarded. It's poof. And yeah, it's really nice. The screen's really quite awesome when you turn on. I won't be able to, won't do it much justice on the thing, but it's just like as soon as you get it out the box, it's just like glossy and it's a real nice screen.
The frames are looking classy. We might think about different Switches because somehow, I don't know how, but it's gone from scalp heaven to no scalpers at all at our local Target, because last we checked, there were 2 to 3 Animal Crossing Switches. There was a Switch Lite and a Game & Watch for Zelda. It's like, oh, really? Why is this hanging around?
I look at the Switch Lite every time I go to the store, and I'm like, ooh.
Is the Zelda Game & Watch out, is it?
Is it? Or it was some sort of Game & Watch, wasn't it?
I don't know. They have a ton of copies of the Mario 64 collection.
Oh, really? They do. Wow. They did that too. And I was like, oh, man.
Which, it's funny. I still never received my one from GameStop.
Oh, really?
Don't order from GameStop. They stink.
Did you pay for it? Did you get your money back?
Yes.
Yeah, I got my money back for it, but
we did get a refund for it. But they're like, it's been shipped.
Mm.
And so then I was like, can you just cancel all my orders? And I ordered from Target instead. So I got Pikmin 3 like the day after it came out, and then like a week later they sent me Pikmin 3 from GameStop, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need this one.
2 copies, play 2 at the same time.
I can't get Peach into playing Pikmin. I'm like, Peach, you do this.
I like playing it with you.
Go. It works in a co-op.
I just get too distracted when I'm by myself.
This sounds like Cuphead. You need someone to lead the pack. Speaking of, we need to play Cuphead soon because its DLC is still on the way.
Yeah, I stick at normal platformers. I don't need to jump into Cuphead.
It's not a platformer as much as it is an infuriating game. I have heard that about Metroid Dread, though, is that some people aren't liking it because the game is intentionally making things difficult for you. It's like, this is just Cuphead all over again.
Isn't that the point?
I saw some like headlines on Twitter being like, games journalists are saying it's too hard. It's like, yeah, but I don't know, maybe it's either for you or it's not, I guess. If it's too difficult or not fun. Like, I've played it for about half an hour so far. I've been like just setting up my OLED and unboxing Pokemon cards and not too much today.
Maybe we've all just played the same Metroid games so long that they seem easier to us.
Yeah.
Memorization.
Metroid's like one of those series where I haven't really gotten into it. Like, it hasn't really clicked that well for me just yet. So I'm going into Dread kind of like
people are like, oh, Super Metroid's so easy. I played it 1,000,000 times. It's like, I feel like if I jumped into Super Metroid, I'd be like, what do I do?
I'd get so lost.
Be like, I can never shoot a missile. They're limited.
I've spilt all my missiles. I can't do this. Yeah. The Metroidvanias. Although even then, Castlevania is not as... The barrier of entry doesn't feel as hard in Castlevania because it's more about narrative. it wants to engage you into the
At least
game.
more recent
Less
Castlevania.
like, yeah, it's less so like, do your job, go.
Yeah, I
Figure
felt
it
with
out.
Castlevania. I felt with Castlevania as well, but when I dived into it, I just I found it more fun. I don't know why. I don't really. I only played like one night type of thing, like for 3 hours, but it hooked me. Whereas like a Metroid game hasn't really hooked me to stay into it. But I'm still very extremely early into Dread, so we'll see how that goes. But it looks great on the OLED Switch anyway. That's the
It is looking great. I just love how everyone was so salty about Metroid Prime 4 being pushed back, and they're like, to apologize, we made another Metroid game. It's coming out in 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, please accept our apology. It's like, of course we'll accept
Apology
this
accepted.
apology accepted. And then
Gimme,
also
gimme.
the fact that we're getting Animal Crossing news recently too. They're like, hey, it's been really quiet. In 2 weeks, we'll have more stuff for you.
Oh dang, I
2
gotta
weeks.
check up on Animal Crossing again.
You do.
I really hope that the update brings me back in, because I love Animal Crossing, but I fell off because I'm just like, I kind of ran out of stuff to do when the villagers keep on saying the same thing again and again.
I think my thing is that if I was like you, Delfino, and I had it just on the Switch and I could just like jump in and jump out, it'd be one thing, but it's like I have the cartridge, so
yeah, it is a manual task.
So I have to like get up and switch my game.
You have to put
just to play Animal Crossing for like 10 minutes and then switch it to a different game, and I'm like, I'd rather just keep playing WarioWare.
It's almost like when we were playing New Leaf, and you'd have to switch the carts, do it all over.
Yeah, that's why I went digital with a lot of my games.
Yeah. Speaking of,
I don't need to buy a third version of Animal Crossing.
We don't need this in our lives. Do we need to buy a second version of the Pokemon games, though? Because...
Well, of course I'm buying the double version of Diamond and Pearl.
Well, yes, but I mean of Legends, Arceus.
Nah.
You'll have one each, won't you? You'll have one each for Legends Arceus, or do you share?
I've been tempted to get one each for WarioWare, because I haven't had a chance to play WarioWare, and you have both gold and get it together. I have been snubbed of WarioWare content. Money.
She's hoarding all the WarioWare, just like Wario himself.
It's on mine.
My game.
And with that, it is time to end off our podcast.
Probably. We get to play smooth moves. Smooth moves. Honestly,
I need to get smooth
moves.
That's the only one I don't have.
The way you described it,
I
we also don't have twisted. We don't have a lot.
Okay, fine. The only other one I have is touch.
Yeah, but the way you described playing it, Drew, with Bryce, where you would pass the Wiimote back and forth to each other and have to wing it over what you got to do for each microgame, it's like, that just makes it even more fun.
It does
sound it's so much fun. And then like you're moving it around the room, so the Wii's like, where's the Wiimote? And it doesn't work that well. Like, oh no, you're waggling. It's like, please work.
This
I've got 3
before
seconds.
The Wii Motion Plus.
Yeah.
And even then, the Wii Motion Plus is like, you need to constantly reset it. That's my one complaint about Pikmin 3, is that I love the gyro controls, but every 5 seconds I have to reset them. It gets very annoying.
I loved Wii Sports Resort. I loved it so much.
I never did play Wii Sports Resort. We played a little bit of Wii Sports. I was more into Wii Sports than you were, Peach. Because you were like, I've got school. The Wii is old. And I was like, I'm going to be the pro at tennis? You can't beat me at tennis.
It's fun. I liked playing baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball was fun with the home runs.
All right, so where can we find you, Delfino Durians?
Okay. I'm at delfinodarians.tumblr.com.
And I am at peachsupremeart.tumblr.com.
And she should have more Inktober coming.
Should.
I've
got some sketches up.
You could have Inktober up. Our podcast goes up on YouTube every Monday and then on podcast services. At this point, it's all podcast services. I went to go check in on maybe I should put it on Google Podcasts. And Google Podcasts already had it. I never set it up, and it just osmosis its way into existing. What?
Because Google Podcasts, I know that not too many people care about it, so they're like, all right, just we'll get it ourselves. You don't have to submit it to us.
Just absorb.
Yeah, just absorb it from everywhere else.
Yeah. So most
Our
podcast
outro
services.
theme was composed by Taylor Lair. You can find her at
tlair.bandcamp.com.
yeah,
It's
that's
T,
the letter T.
Laire.
Laire. Dang it!
.bandcamp.com.
I'll just
It's so
excuse
weird.
myself.
We're very out of sync, not being in the same room. We can't say it together. The other thing that's the hardest is trying to say paisani together.
Well, let's
Yeah,
just
that
have
would be
Drew
hard.
say it. He's the guest.
Okay, you're the guest. So the saying is paisani.
Paisani.
What Koopa catastrophe are you causing in Asia, Bully Koopa?
I'm painting graffiti all over this wall, Green Daddy.
Lousy lizards, Bully. Any stupid airhead can slap graffiti around.
But it's not just any wall, Pop. It's the Great Wall of China.